Have you ever wondered if we all perceive the world in the same way? Or is it possible that our language shapes our reality? One answer to this question can be found in the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. It contends that the language we speak influences how we think. Support for this theory has been found in studies of how people of different
languages... Only the colors black,
perceive.
white, and green. The people in this world would have no word for blue or red. So what if one day a little blue speck appears? Since the language in this world has only the words for 3 colors, the people who live here might just see the new color as another shade of black or green. They would be limited by their language. The idea that language determines thought is called strong linguistic determinism, or the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis.
The idea that a person's pattern of thought is influenced by the language they speak and think in. It means that the structure of this language can affect the way a person conceives reality. For example, if you associate white with purity, cleanliness, morality, and pleasantness, such as snow, wedding dress, or white Christmas, or if you associate black with evil, darkness, or black magic, then does the way we associate color mean how we treat white men and women correspondingly different from black men and women? This is an example of linguistic relativism. Linguistic determinism is the idea that a human's thought or their knowledge is limited and/or determined by the language they know. At 6 months, infants growing up in an English-speaking household are able to discriminate sounds that in Hindi are treated differently, but in English are not. However, at 12 months, they have lost this ability and only pay attention to sound distinctions relevant to English. Thus, the child's language, English, is the limit of its world. It won't see objects as masculine or feminine like the French do because English doesn't use word gender. The way to differentiate linguistic relativism and determinism is that relativism influences a person's world, whereas determinism limits a person's world.
There is a major difference in the concept of time in Hopi languages compared to English. He claimed that Hopi speakers do not have the same temporal units, and therefore their culture was fundamentally different in this respect to ours. Of course, this theory was disputed by universalists. Their studies demonstrated that Hopi has different concepts of time than what Whorf had believed them to be, and claimed that Whorf did not understand Hopi languages well enough. Other relativists, however, countered, arguing that universalists misinterpreted Whorf's work and tried to force Hopi grammar into models that were not fit for the structure of the Hopi language. In the 60s, a study was set up to discredit the relativistic approach. At that time, it was believed that there was no specific rule which determined between how many different colors a language would differentiate. Rather, differences were attributed to the culture in which the languages were spoken. Berlin and Kay examined the color terminology of different languages and found universalist trends. Even though languages have different color terms, certain hues are seen as more focal than others. Also, the choices of colors are not arbitrary. Instead, there appear to be a hierarchy of colors. A language which recognizes the color blue also recognizes the colors black, white, red, green, and yellow, but not necessarily brown or pink. If speakers don't recognize the colors green or yellow, the only colors that speakers of this language categorize are either black and white only, or black, white, and red.